The search for effective weight loss solutions has been a constant throughout medical history, and GLP-1 receptor agonists represent a significant breakthrough in this field. These medications, which mimic the action of the hormone glucagon-like peptide 1, or GLP-1, were initially introduced as a tool to manage type 2 diabetes, but they quickly gained attention for their ability to promote weight loss. GLP-1 is a hormone produced in the intestines after food intake, playing a crucial role in regulating blood sugar and the feeling of fullness. By replicating these functions, GLP-1 receptor agonists offer a dual approach. They help manage glucose levels and reduce appetite, leading to a decrease in calorie intake. This combination has made them an attractive option, not only for people with diabetes, but also for those struggling with obesity or being overweight. The history of GLP-1 receptor agonists began with the discovery that the GLP-1 hormone, naturally released by the body, could be used for therapeutic purposes. In the early 2000s, researchers identified that synthetic compounds capable of mimicking this hormone could be used to treat metabolic conditions. The first medication in this class to reach the market was exenatide, approved in 2005 by the United States Food and Drug Administration, known as the FDA, under the brand name Byetta. Derived from the venom of the Gila monster, a type of lizard, exenatide marked the beginning of a new era in the treatment of type 2 diabetes. In the following years, other medications were developed, each with improvements in terms of effectiveness and convenience of administration. In 2010, liraglutide, marketed as Victoza for diabetes, was approved, followed by dulaglutide, known as Trulicity, in 2014, and semaglutide, under the brand name Ozempic, in 2017. These advances laid the foundation for the use of these medications in weight management. The transition of GLP-1 receptor agonists from diabetes treatment to weight management was a natural development, given that weight loss was a common side effect observed in diabetic patients. In 2014, liraglutide was approved by the FDA for the treatment of obesity under the name Saxenda, marking the first time a GLP-1 receptor agonist was officially indicated for weight loss. This milestone was followed by the approval of semaglutide, marketed as Wegovy, in 2021, and tirzepatide, under the brand Zepbound, in 2023. These medications were designed to be used in combination with a reduced calorie diet and increased physical activity, offering an integrated approach to weight management. Tirzepatide, in particular, stands out for being a dual agonist, acting not only on GLP-1 receptors but also on glucose-dependent insulinotropic peptide, or GIP receptors, which may explain its greater effectiveness compared to other drugs in the class. The effectiveness of these medications for weight loss has been demonstrated in a series of rigorous clinical trials. In the case of Saxenda, studies from the SCALE series, conducted with thousands of participants, showed that patients who used Saxenda for 56 weeks lost, on average, 8 to 9% of their initial body weight, compared to about 2.8% in the placebo group. These trials involved adults with a body mass index, or BMI, of 30 or more, or 27 or more with weight-related comorbidities. In addition, about 62% of participants who used Saxenda achieved a weight loss of at least 5%, and 33.9% reached 10% or more, figures significantly higher than those in the placebo group. A long-term study, lasting 3 years, also showed that approximately half of the patients who achieved significant weight loss in the first year were able to maintain that result with continued use of the medication, highlighting the importance of treatment adherence. Semaglutide, marketed as Wegovy, raised the bar for GLP-1 agonist effectiveness. In the Step 1 clinical trial, which involved around 4,500 participants, those who received Wegovy for 68 weeks lost, on average, 14.9% of their body weight, compared to 2.4% in the placebo group. Impressively, 83.5% of participants in the Wegovy group achieved a weight loss of at least 5%, and about 1/3 reached a reduction of 20% or more. These results were obtained alongside a reduced calorie diet plan and increased physical activity, reinforcing the need for a healthy lifestyle to maximize the medication's benefits. Wegovy's approval in 2021 was a milestone, as it was the first medication to demonstrate such significant weight loss, approaching the results of surgical interventions such as bariatric surgery.
Tirzepatide, under the brand Zepbound, brought GLP-1 agonist effectiveness to a new level. In the Surmount-1 trial, conducted with over 2,500 participants, those who received doses of 10 or 15 milligrams of tirzepatide for 72 semanas achieved an average weight loss of up to 20.9% compared to 3.1% in the placebo group. About 50 to 57% of participants in the higher dose group achieved a weight reduction of 20% or more, a remarkable result compared to other medications in the class. A subsequent study, Surmount-5, directly compared tirzepatide with semaglutide, showing that tirzepatide resulted in an average loss of 20.2% of body weight versus 13.7% com semaglutide over 72 semanas. These data suggest that tirzepatide may be the most effective weight loss option currently available, although more studies are needed to confirm these results in different populations.
The effectiveness of these medications for weight loss has been demonstrated in a series of rigorous clinical trials. In the case of Saxenda, studies from the SCALE series, conducted with thousands of participants, show that patients who used liraglutide for 56 weeks lost, on average, 8 to 9% of their initial body weight compared to about 2.8% in the placebo group. These trials involved adults with a body mass index, or BMI, of 30 or more or 27 or more with weight-related comorbidities, such as high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes. In addition, about 62% of participants who used Saxenda achieved a weight loss of at least 5%, and 33.9% reached 10% or more, figures significantly higher than those in the placebo group. A long-term study, lasting 3 years, also showed that approximately half of the patients who achieved significant weight loss in the first year were able to maintain that result with continued use of the medication, highlighting the importance of treatment adherence. Semaglutide, marketed as Wegovy, raised the bar for GLP-1 agonist effectiveness. In the Step 1 clinical trial, which involved around 4,500 participants, those who received Wegovy for 68 weeks lost, on average, 14.9% of their body weight, compared to 2.4% in the placebo group. Impressively, 83.5% of participants in the Wegovy group achieved a weight loss of at least 5%, and about 1/3 reached a reduction of 20% or more. These results were obtained alongside a reduced calorie diet plan and increased physical activity, reinforcing the need for a healthy lifestyle to maximize the medication's benefits. Wegovy's approval in 2021 was a milestone, as it was the first medication to demonstrate such significant weight loss, approaching the results of surgical interventions such as bariatric surgery. Tirzepatide, under the brand Zepbound, brought GLP-1 agonist effectiveness to a new level. In the Surmount-1 trial, conducted with over 2,500 participants, those who received doses of 10 or 15 milligrams of tirzepatide for 72 weeks achieved an average weight loss of up to 20.9% compared to 3.1% in the placebo group. About 50 to 57% of participants in the higher dose group achieved a weight reduction of 20% or more, a remarkable result compared to other medications in the class. A subsequent study, Surmount-5, directly compared tirzepatide with semaglutide, showing that tirzepatide resulted in an average loss of 20.2% of body weight versus 13.7% with semaglutide over 72 weeks. These data suggest that tirzepatide may be the most effective weight loss option currently available, although more studies are needed to confirm these results in different populations.
The administration of these medications varies, but most are given through subcutaneous injections. Saxenda requires daily injections, with an initial dose that is gradually increased over 4 weeks to minimize side effects. Wegovy and Zepbound, on the other hand, are administered once a week, which can be more convenient for patients. The initial dose of Wegovy is 0.25 milligrams, gradually increasing to 2.4 milligrams, while Zepbound starts at 2.5 milligrams and can reach 15 milligrams. These medications must be used alongside lifestyle changes, such as a calorie deficit diet of about 500 calories per day and increased physical activity. Adherence to these recommendations is crucial for achieving the results observed in clinical trials,
as the medications alone are not a magic solution. Side effects of GLP-1 receptor agonists are an important aspect to consider. The most common ones are gastrointestinal in nature, including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation, which affect a significant proportion of patients, especially during the first weeks of treatment. For example, in the Step 1 trial of Wegovy, about 40% of participants reported nausea and around 20% experienced diarrhea. These effects tend to decrease over time as the body adjusts to the medication. However, there are more serious concerns, such as the risk of pancreatitis, cholelithiasis, and, in rare cases, C-cell thyroid tumors, based on animal studies. Both Wegovy and Zepbound carry warnings on their labels about the risk of thyroid cancer, although the relevance of these findings to humans is not yet fully understood. Other risks include hypoglycemia, especially when used with other diabetes medications, and potential vision changes in patients with type 2 diabetes. These risks highlight the importance of a careful medical evaluation before starting treatment. The costs of GLP-1 receptor agonists represent a significant barrier for many patients. The list price for Saxenda and Wegovy is approximately $1,349 per month, while Zepbound costs about $1,060 per month. These prices are for a 28-day supply and may vary depending on the pharmacy and location. For patients with commercial health insurance, discount programs offered by the manufacturers, such as the Wegovy and Zepbound savings cards, can reduce the cost to as little to $25 per month, depending on insurance coverage. However, for those without insurance or with limited coverage, the cost can be prohibitive. For example, Wegovy offers a $500 per month option for patients without coverage, while Zepbound has a self-pay program with vials ranging from 2.5 to 10 milligrams costing $499 per month. These programs are exclusive to patients with commercial insurance and are not available to beneficiaries of government programs such as Medicare or Medicaid.
Accessibility has also been impacted by supply shortages, especially for Wegovy and Ozempic, due to high demand. In 2022 and 2023, Novo Nordisk faced challenges in meeting demand, resulting in limited availability of starter doses. However, in October 2024, the FDA announced that all Wegovy doses were available, indicating a resolution of the shortages. Zepbound, being a newer medication, also faced supply challenges, but Eli Lilly has invested in increasing production capacity. These improvements suggest that in 2025, the availability of these medications should be more stable, although high demand remains a factor to monitor. Recent advances in the field of GLP-1 agonists point to a promising future. In 2024, Zepbound was approved for the treatment of obstructive sleep apnea in adults with obesity, expanding its indications beyond weight loss. Studies are also exploring the use of these drugs for other conditions, such as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and polycystic ovary syndrome. Additionally, there is growing interest in oral formulations, such as oral semaglutide, marketed as Rybelsus for diabetes, which has shown potential for weight loss at higher doses, with studies indicating an average loss of 17.5 pounds with a 50 milligram dose. As of June 2024, at least 27 new GLP-1 agonists were in development, suggesting that new options may reach the market in the coming years, possibly with greater effectiveness or fewer side effects. Controversies surrounding GLP-1 agonists are numerous. Off-label use, particularly of drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro for weight loss in people without diabetes or obesity, has been amplified by celebrities and social media, raising concerns about the safety and ethics of this use. The sustainability of weight loss is also a topic of debate, as studies like SURMOUNT-4 have shown that patients who discontinue tirzepatide may regain up to 14% of lost weight within a year. This suggests that these medications may require long-term use, increasing associated costs and risks. Furthermore, the issue of compounded drugs, which are unapproved versions of semaglutide with tirzepatide made by compounding pharmacies, has raised safety and efficacy concerns, with the FDA warning against their use due to the lack of strict regulation. The comparison among different GLP-1 agonists is also a relevant topic. Tirzepatide, due to its dual action on GLP-1 and GIP receptors, appears to offer greater efficacy compared to semaglutide and liraglutide, as demonstrated in the SURMOUNT-5 trial.
However, the choice of medication depends on individual factors, such as tolerance to side effects, administration preferences, and insurance coverage. Saxenda, for example, may be less convenient due to the need for daily injections, while Wegovy and Zepbound offer the convenience of a weekly dose. Additionally, semaglutide has a longer half-life, allowing for less frequent administration, while tirzepatide may be more effective for patients needing more significant weight loss. The social and economic impact of these medications is profound. Obesity is a chronic condition that affects about 650 million adults globally, contributing to diseases such as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and certain types of cancer. GLP-1 agonists offer a powerful tool to reduce this burden, with studies showing additional benefits, such as reducing cardiovascular events by up to 20% in patients with obesity and cardiovascular disease, as observed in the SELECT trial for Wegovy. However, the high cost and limited accessibility raise questions about equity and access to these treatments, especially among low-income populations. The pressure on healthcare systems to cover these medications is also increasing as their popularity grows. Looking ahead, the field of GLP-1 agonists is rapidly evolving. In addition to oral formulations, there is research into combination therapies that may pair GLP-1 agonists with other agents to enhance effectiveness or reduce side effects. For example, Novo Nordisk is developing CagriSema, a combination of semaglutide with another compound, which has shown promising results in early trials. The potential use of these medications for other indications, such as neurodegenerative diseases, is also being explored, with studies suggesting neuroprotective effects of GLP-1. However, more research is needed to confirm these benefits and understand long-term effects. In summary, GLP-1 agonists like Saxenda, Wegovy, and Zepbound represent a revolution in obesity treatment, offering significant weight loss and metabolic benefits. However, their widespread adoption faces challenges, including high costs, side effects, and sustainability issues. For those struggling with excess weight, these medications offer hope, but require a careful approach with medical supervision and lifestyle changes. As science advances, we are likely to see even more innovations in this area, potentially transforming the way we approach metabolic health. Now we want to hear from you. Leave your comment below, like this video, and share it with your friends to spread the word.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret.